Purposely. Your life, God's purpose. Listen at onpurposely.com.
Hi, welcome to the Bible for Busy People. My name's Hannah, and this week I'll be filling in for my mom, Erica. In this episode, we're going to look at the story of the bleeding woman who was subject to bleeding for 12 years and her beautiful story of faith. And we're going to be looking into Luke 8:43 to 48. A woman in the crowd had suffered for 12 years with constant bleeding, and she could find no cure. Coming up behind Jesus, she touched the fringe of his robe. Immediately, the bleeding stopped. "Who touched me?" Jesus asked. Everyone denied it, and Peter said, "Master, this whole crowd is pressing up against you." But Jesus said, "Someone deliberately touched me, for I felt healing power go out from me." When the woman realized that she could not stay hidden, she began to tremble and fell to her knees in front of him. The whole crowd heard her explain why she had touched him and that she had been immediately healed. "Daughter," he said to her, "your faith has made you well. Go in peace." This is one of my favorite stories in the Bible because she took a leap of faith. She could have listened to those voices of discouragement telling her, "You've tried so many times to find healing. What makes you think that you're going to find it now? And it would be better to stay behind and not embarrass yourself in front of a crowd of people you don't even know." I can only imagine what that looked like when she reached out for Jesus. What a beautiful moment it must have been. He was on his way somewhere and he could have just walked past her. But he took that moment to speak with her and be with her. He wasn't in a rush to get anywhere. Just like Jesus stopped for her, he does that for every single one of us. He feels your faith the same way he felt when the woman reached out to him in the crowd. I'm so glad that she chose to press forward and believe with all her heart that she would be healed, because it probably would have been a completely different story had she not decided to try and see what would happen. Whatever dream that you have in your heart that God has called you to pursue, I want to encourage you to take that leap of faith. It might feel nerve-wracking and intimidating at first, but God is right there with you. It won't be easy, but he will catch you when you fall. He will. There's so much blessing when we choose to follow him. He has you right in the palm of his hand. I wanted to close with a Bible verse from Psalm 29:3-11. "The voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is majestic. The voice of the Lord splits the mighty cedars. The Lord shatters the cedars of Lebanon. He makes Lebanon's mountains skip like a calf. He makes Mount Hermon leap like a young wild ox. The voice of the Lord strikes with bolts of lightning. The voice of the Lord makes the barren wilderness quake. The Lord shakes the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of the Lord twists mighty oaks and strips the forest bare. In his temple, everyone shouts glory. The Lord rules over the floodwaters. The Lord reigns as king forever. The Lord gives his people strength. The Lord blesses them with peace." I hope that this encourages you to listen to God's voice. Remember that his voice speaks truth and life, and that his ways are pure and good. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that this encourages you to just leap forward into the Lord. See you next time.
Thank you so much for listening to the Bible for Busy People. If you need prayer or you're ready to go a little deeper in your faith, we've posted some resources for you in our show notes. We'd love for you to share this podcast with a friend and leave us a review. It helps us reach even more people with the hope of Jesus. This podcast is part of Purposely, a podcast network designed with practical podcasts to help you find and live in God's purpose for your life. Find more podcasts that will recharge you at onpurposely.com.